Good morning. Last time when we finished, we were doing CPR on democracy, and I have a little bit of hopes. There's some sign of life there. Remember, just steady, 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 and there's some hope. What we did at the end was make a weird recommendation that all votes in legislature should be double votes. One out in the open, where the guy who bought you can see that you're doing something for him, and one in secret so that the person could do what he really felt was the right thing. And more important than both even is the possibility that it would encourage honest, strong-minded people, middle of the road, not ideological, to get into government. It's important, and it's as exciting or interesting as anything else. And if you're just interested in making a reasonable living and having your life have some meaning, hey, that's really the way to go. So think about it, and just kind of get my crazy idea in and follow up on it. Today, I'll just pick up a lot of small stuff. Trying to be game changers is our ideal is, and just go from one to the other. One very simple thing, capital gains taxes, total absolute fraud. There is no capital gains if you have inflation. So capital gains is fine. There's nothing wrong if it's done on real dollars. And we have very good measures of that. And yeah, there'll be a little bit of multiplication, big deal. So you have to adjust from year to year, and there's a little multiplication to do, division. So big deal. It's easy to do. Your accountant certainly can do that. You can do that. Why they're not doing that now, I don't know. It's not only is it wrong, it is perverse because it strongly encourages the government to use inflation to eliminate the power of its debts, and to basically defraud the American people. And this is a lot simpler than what I was talking about last time. All you need to do is make the code simply say that capital gains relates to the real dollars, and there's a particular number goes from this year to that year, and it's easy. And it's a fraud, and it's doing real harm. We see this in California, which has double taxation, where the capital gains tax is really high. And a lot of times you have somebody who, let's say, has been living in a home a long time, he and his wife, and they've been there for 30 years, and he stopped working, and he has to really depend on the funds that are in his home. So he thinks, well, my gosh, why don't I just sell the whole thing, and we'll move to a small place, maybe rental, maybe some other state, and we can live in reasonable comfort, add that to our Social Security, and we'll be okay. Well, he's been there 30 years, maybe somewhere along the line he was short of money and he refinanced. And so he goes to sell, and he finds that, hey, almost all the price that he gets from that house is called capital gains. But it's worth exactly what it was worth when he bought it in real money. But he's paying 20% federal, he's paying California tax, and this is just a fraud. It's an absolute fraud. There is absolutely no reason for it, and the fact that we've been doing it a long time, that doesn't matter. It's still wrong. It's still wrong. And that can be stopped with a line. The capital gain shall be figured according to such and such index. Period. Period. Very easy. Very easy. Think about it. Why the hell is something that's that simple and that obvious escaping people? Are people blind? I'm sure people talk about it, but do you hear about it? Okay, hey, if you live in California, call your legislator tomorrow, and say, what the hell is going on? Why am I personally and my family being defrauded by this absolute nonsense? Okay. Other things that can be done simply. If you see somebody who votes for carried interest being continued, don't vote for him, please. This is a persistent fraud, and it's just a matter where people who run the agencies that manage money can have their income taxed as capital gains, not as real gains. They are absolute real gains. It's an absolute fraud. Everybody knows it. Somehow or other, somebody has control over all the voters to stop this obvious thing from being knocked out. There's no excuse. Another thing, this business of companies buying up their own stock. This is a method where the CEOs and higher-ups can gain on their taxes, and where all this money, instead of going into investments which will enrich our country and generate some of those jobs, can be used, not for the enrichment of insiders. There is no excuse for this buying back your own stock. Easily stopped, easily stopped, easily stopped. Come on, just look at these things. How come we're doing this? Everybody knows it's nonsense, and we're doing it. Okay, that's enough annoyance, anger, and spume. It's nice to get angry about good, noble things and not these terrible things that other people do. So we'll see you again next time. Bye.